That make a lot more sense.
Yeah, that's not snitching.
No. Now, as far as Bricc goes, I think a lot of people were really thrown off and
What?
saddened by.
They thought they were walking out, but the judge had other plans. In a courtroom showdown that felt more like a street war than a legal hearing, Bricc Baby and Luce Cannon just got hit with a brutal reality check. No bond, no freedom, and no mercy from the judge. Let's get straight to it. Both Bricc Baby and Luce Cannon were denied bond. They were confident they'd be released on April 9th because they had strong bond packages. Bricc Baby's mom even put up a multi-million-dollar property. However, the judge denied their requests, citing similar reasons, including prior criminal history, potential interference with the legal process, and that the court believes they pose a threat. This doesn't stop them from reapplying for bond, but for now, they remain in custody. Bricc Baby's hearing went smoothly, but Luce Cannon's, not so much. There was some serious drama involving a neighborhood OG named Eddie Boy. I want to give you guys both sides, all right. The pro-Luce Cannon side and the anti-Luce Cannon side. Eddie Boy was in the courtroom. Apparently, they don't get along. Luce Cannon straight up said in court, "Why is Eddie Boy here? I don't mess with him," right in front of everybody. The officers had to step in, telling him Eddie Boy had every right to be there. Court is public. After some back and forth, Luce Cannon finally cooled down. During the hearing, the prosecution brought up Luce Cannon's past charges to argue he was a risk to society. However, Luce Cannon claimed many of those charges weren't his. He said something like, "I didn't go to jail for that. My brother did those crimes." It turns out that Luce Cannon and his brother aren't just siblings. They're actually twins. Not only do they look alike, but they also have strikingly similar names. That's where things took a strange turn. Due to what appears to have been a clerical error in the legal system, the prosecution mistakenly pulled up his brother's criminal record and tried to use it against Luce Cannon in court. In other words, they were holding him accountable for things he never actually did. Now here's where things get tricky. Luce Cannon pointed out the mistake to the court, making it clear that those charges didn't belong to him, but to his twin brother. That correction helped his case, but in certain circles, especially in the streets, calling out someone else's record, even if it's to defend yourself, raises eyebrows.
Yeah, I say that on the phone, like, "Yo, you nigga, why you on the phone?" I'm like, "Oh, because you know them calls is recorded."
Yeah.
So they like, "Man, what the you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, man." I started crying for a second, and I hung up the phone.
So, is that snitching? Well, some like 600 might say yes, because, technically, he revealed that his brother had a criminal record, even if indirectly. But from Luce Cannon's perspective, he wasn't trying to get his brother in trouble or cooperate with the authorities against him. He was just trying to clear his own name and avoid being punished for something he didn't do. In his eyes, it wasn't snitching, it was self-defense. The situation with Eddie Boy escalated. Luce Cannon's lawyer observed Eddie Boy on his phone and suspected he was recording. She alerted the judge, who had Eddie Boy escorted out to check. He wasn't recording and was allowed back in. Luce Cannon's past online activity was also brought up. Prosecutors are using his claims of being an enforcer and his comments about people's families against him. They even asked Eddie Boy if he wanted to press charges for those comments. But Eddie Boy said, "No, I don't need to." Luce Cannon is being accused of lying about fights in jail, which prosecutors say never happened. He's also accused of not being truthful about his gang affiliation. Some are saying he's not really a rolling 60. Luce Cannon and his associates deny these allegations. The fight outside No Jumper with JRE was brought up as evidence of Luce Cannon's violent tendencies. The prosecution is using this to argue that he shouldn't be released back into society. The situation with Eddie Boy escalated. Luce Cannon's lawyer observed Eddie Boy on his phone and suspected he was recording. She alerted the judge, who had Eddie Boy escorted out to check. He wasn't recording and was allowed back in. Luce Cannon's past online activity was also brought up. Prosecutors are using his claims of being an enforcer and his comments about people's families against him. They even asked Eddie Boy if he wanted to press charges for those comments. It's crazy how things change. Luce Cannon and 600 used to be on the same team, exposing others. Now, 600 is calling Luce Cannon a liar. This shows how quickly life can come at you, especially when you're living a fast life. All of Luce Cannon's enemies seem to be stuck in the past, relics from the 60s, and that's not just a coincidence. It highlights a harsh and sobering truth about gang culture. It's a cycle that refuses to evolve, built on old grudges, outdated codes, and empty promises. People often think gangs provide a sense of safety, a place to belong, like a brotherhood. But the reality is far more brutal. There's no peace here, no true protection. What you find, instead, is betrayal, violence, and a life filled with constant paranoia. Luce Cannon's story isn't some fictional drama crafted for entertainment. These aren't just characters on a screen. They're reflections of real people, real communities, and real consequences. The pain is authentic. The danger is real. And perhaps the most tragic part is this. The very gang he dedicated his life to, the one he believed in, is the one now turning on him. That's the dark irony. Loyalty in this world is often one-sided. The idea of brotherhood? Often nothing more than a myth used to keep people trapped in a cycle of destruction. There's a powerful lesson hidden here. It's not just a cautionary tale, it's a wake-up call. The streets may promise respect, but they rarely deliver anything more than heartbreak. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below, and be sure to check out the video on why a Rolling 60 OG is claiming Bricc Baby snitched. Thanks for watching. From platinum-selling artist to public embarrassment, YK Osiris has fallen hard. What happened to the man behind the hit songs? Today we will discuss his financial troubles, public humiliation, and scamming allegations that have left his career in shambles. Stick around as we uncover how YK Osiris went from music stardom to fighting amateur boxing matches for scraps.
I was trying to sing. I was trying to sing. Like, I really want to be like Michael Jackson. So I wanted to sing. Like, I want to dance like him and all. You feel me? I wanted to sing. Like,
YK Osiris burst onto the scene with hit tracks like Worth It, a song that not only earned him a triple platinum plaque, but also catapulted him to fame, securing a spot among hip-hop's rising stars. This meteoric rise was fueled by his unique blend of rap, R&B, and pop, which resonated deeply with audiences worldwide. However, behind the glitz and glamour of his newfound success, trouble was brewing. Despite his early achievements, including a nomination for Best New Artist at the 2019 BET Hip Hop Awards and electrifying performances at major festivals, YK Osiris faced significant challenges. His rapid ascent to fame was followed by reports of financial difficulties, including debts to prominent figures in the music industry, such as Drake and Lil Baby.
I ain't gonna owe you no more.
You owe me 60 bands, and you have to perform the song right now in the crib. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? I'm giving you an out.
I'm sorry, let me get my 5 bands, bro.
I can't wait to get you. I can't.
You right now.
He's so funny. He's so funny, man.
Additionally, he was involved in controversies surrounding false claims about charitable donations, which further tarnished his public image. These setbacks, combined with a perceived lack of new material and a decrease in his musical output, led to a decline in his popularity. His inability to sustain the momentum of his early success meant that he struggled to maintain his position as a leading figure in the hip-hop scene. YK Osiris's story serves as a cautionary tale about the pressures and pitfalls of sudden fame, highlighting the importance of maintaining artistic output and managing personal and financial responsibilities effectively.
I will give you the word. You just gotta be worthy, yeah.
Sorry! Since Buckaroo! Eat my neck! That nigga losing all his fucking.
Oh, you got
YK Osiris has been involved in several high-profile deaths, particularly related to basketball bets. One of the most notable incidents involved losing over $60,000 in a series of basketball games. However, instead of paying up, he seemed to ghost his opponents, leaving them without their winnings. This behavior has led to him being labeled as a scammer by many in the industry. One of his most publicized debts was to Lil Baby, who he owed $5,000. Despite being a platinum artist, YK Osiris struggled to pay back this relatively small amount. The situation became awkward when he ran into Lil Baby at a jewelry store, Icebox, and was confronted about the debt. YK Osiris asked Lil Baby to wait for his next hit before paying him back, which was met with skepticism. Perhaps the most humiliating moment for YK Osiris came when he was forced by Drake to perform his hit song Worth It at Drake's Toronto mansion. This was in repayment for a $60,000 debt he owed Drake from another lost basketball bet. The incident was widely shared on social media, with many ridiculing YK Osiris for his situation. Drake's move was seen as a clever way to shame YK Osiris into paying his debts while also entertaining his audience. It highlighted the extent to which YK Osiris's financial troubles had become a public spectacle. YK Osiris's financial issues are not isolated incidents. He has a history of making bets he can't afford to lose and then failing to pay up. This pattern of behavior has led to him being called out by several figures in the music industry. For instance, he lost a $10,000 basketball bet to Young Blue, which was documented on social media. Despite acknowledging his gambling addiction, YK Osiris seems unable to break the cycle. He continues to make bets, often with disastrous financial consequences. His recent involvement in amateur boxing for a relatively low fee of $20,000 further underscores his financial struggles. And if that wasn't enough, YouTuber Scam Likely exposed him for owing money and dodging payments. His reputation took a massive hit.
YK Osiris has outdone himself right when I thought he couldn't do any more damage to his already dying career. I honestly thought when Drake made this man dance and sing for him.
Fast forward to today, YK Osiris is now participating in low-tier celebrity boxing matches. Compared to Blueface's $500,000 per fight, he's fighting for just $20,000.
Wait, what?
Could you name 3 YK Osiris songs?
Put a gun to the back of your head.
I will give you the world, baby girl. That's true.
The lyrics of one song.
Oh shit. I can't, bro. I'm dead.
At a recent press conference, TikTokers roasted him about his career and financial status. And get this, he bet his entire fight purse against Scam Likely, who might just beat him in the ring. But the scandals don't stop there. Far from it. He's been entangled in a jaw-dropping allegation involving stolen jewelry with none other than pop star Sean Kingston by his side. According to reports, the duo was involved in a bizarre scheme that raised more than a few eyebrows in the entertainment world. And if that wasn't enough, he's also been caught making outrageous bets, some worth thousands of dollars, that he allegedly never intended to pay. These stunts have turned him from a rising star into a walking controversy. His once promising image has taken such a nosedive that people no longer refer to him by name. Instead, he's mockingly called Scam Likely, a nickname that follows him like a shadow, hinting at the chaos and deception he's become known for. It's sad but true. YK Osiris has become a laughingstock in both the music industry and social media circles. So, what lessons can we take from YK Osiris's dramatic fall from grace? At the core of his downfall lies a dangerous trifecta: gambling, scamming, and a string of unpaid debts. These choices didn't just dent his bank account. They shattered his credibility and sabotaged the career he worked so hard to build. This was a man who once topped the charts, celebrated for his platinum hits and rising stardom. But in what felt like the blink of an eye, he went from headlining shows to being the punchline of TikTok memes. Now, instead of negotiating million-dollar deals or planning world tours, he's scrambling to recover a mere $20,000, pocket change in the world of A-list celebrities. And even that sum hangs in the balance, threatened by yet another reckless bet that could seal his fate. It's a powerful cautionary tale, a reminder that fame is fragile and that poor choices, no matter how small they seem in the moment, can spiral into a career-ending storm. In the end, YK Osiris's story isn't just about fame lost, but about the consequences that come when ego, temptation, and irresponsibility collide. What do you think about YK Osiris's situation? Is there any hope for him to bounce back? Let us know in the comments below.